battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Welcome back to RHL Season 13 with everybody's favorite armchair general, if I may insert myself here. This is going to be an interesting game. I just picked basically the top spot, the random spot of the RHL servers and downloaded the replays. And then I realized what I had done. Because look at the names. Top left, we've got spawning in as Germany, Gacius, who has experienced quite some coverage in the past couple months on my channel, who has definitely made a name for himself. And he's up against Widow Smells Bad. Sounds familiar? Nope. Didn't ring a bell for me either. But I had to double check, and it actually is, believe it or not, Despro, who is probably one of the top contenders as of right now, which is going to be a super awesome game because Gacius has definitely taken games off of established players. So let's see if we can repeat that here. The map in question is Autumn Leaves yet again. No, Anar. But it's played on the Autumn tileset, which seems to be enjoying some popularity at the moment. Very deservedly so. The attack dog is already out for Mr. Despro, who is inching his way forward, just trying to establish a foothold here on the map. And yeah, so a couple comments that I wanted to address. Some people have been asking me in the comments, is this the game you've been talking about with the Autumn tileset, wasn't the Transport Tycoon? No, it wasn't Transport Tycoon, it was a Transport Tycoon ripoff named Industry Giant, which I have, to my absolute delight and joy, have found out is actually on Steam. You want to check it out, it is available for purchase. Oh my goodness, what a great surround here, and simultaneously Gacius is also taking away the oil derrick from under the nose of Despro. So a really big win for him in the early game. Despite Despro going for a 20 stack opener, he definitely made it work somehow. Oh my goodness, he's also definitely outgunned here and still gonna make it work? Jesus. What a brutal early game. So with that, after the dust has settled, yeah, Despro has killed a little more assets, but he certainly is behind in terms of map control, has lost his basically... okay, it is... this oil derrick is closer in proximity to Gacius than it is to Despro, to be fair. So he took his backline derrick and then immediately went for the middle. He's also on a super rocket heavy diet already, that's putting some iron in his diet, let's put it that way. Some iron and lead. Yeah, 5 rockets already. That's insane for minute 3 of the game. So a couple of rockets are appearing here as well, and Despro has finally managed to cuff up the funds for an engineer. Look at the engineer in its 16 pixel glory. The glory days of 16 pixel graphics, if we zoom in all the way. Hell yeah. Oh, engineers both going on a risky adventure without a chaperone to guide them, or without a shepherd. It's a bit lost without a shepherd, but hey, it's gonna make it work. Oh, he's taking the backline derrick, and are we gonna see a similar pathing here? Yep. But Despro has already smartly parked the rifle in his backline, so no chance of that happening here. So the refineries are being brought online, and we're gonna be seeing a fairly even early to mid game, except, oh my goodness, that was a build queue slip up from Despro. Despro, you okay, buddy? He's managed to purchase a flak truck, but ooh, a flak truck APC combo. That is a very interesting and spicy build, but he's gonna be super far behind in terms of his economy, of his basically economy, map control, and everything else that entails. What he can do obviously is harass with the backline APC. 4 rockets, that's already enough to 2.5 shot the harvester. So that is a fairly significant threat. Also, Flamer APC is always in the cards. If you've watched last week's cast, that was quite a treat with Angie getting some really good value out of his Flamer APC. Double light tank here. So basically this is a build that allows for some leeway. You're going 5 harvesters and you're gonna have a little bit of idle time that you can use to purchase another light vehicle. So it's not quite the 4 minute 20, the classic 420 MCV. Rather, it is a 450. but it gives you 1 extra light tank or whichever light vehicle you want to procure. Ooh, Despro, yo! His attention be slipping a little. What's happening today? This is very unlike him, that's very unbecoming of him. You know, maybe it is just the fact that he has called himself Widow Smells Bad. That just instantly tanked his skill level by 50%. But let's not judge that early. APC is soaking up a little bit of damage before it instantly gets vaporized. Oh my goodness, what a good position. The heavy tank was completely out of position, but still, it is enough to soak up all the damage here. And gets the cleanup. Cleanup crew has arrived. And as a result, there is 1 less army on the field out. Wow. Despro is so far behind in terms of the army, despite winning this engagement. We're gonna have to double check that. Yeah, he's killed more, so he should in theory have the larger army. Certainly doesn't appear to be the case. He's finally transferring his harvesters over. So was that just a build queue failure yet again? Yeah, I mean he's got 3.5k just sitting in the bank. Newsflash, you're not getting interest anymore. The EZB has decided against interest. Oh, Milkman. He is having some issues here. He's, by the way, also in RHL Masters Division now. Okay, a couple of rifles being sent to deal with the oil derrick. Just a little distraction, a little nuisance. Oh, that's nice. That is a nice flank here, and it is probably going to catch Gacius off guard. But he has some tanks in the close proximity. So not the most scary thing yet. Oil derrick goes down. And the ore truck is gonna be taken under siege. Is Gacius gonna react in time? Ooh, barely, yes. So for now, no big losses just yet. But again, the army from Despro is also still alive. Very nice army movement, just keeping him on his toes, keeping him honest. On the top side, let's see. Ooh, the flamers have arrived. Is it taking a burning page out of Anju's book? Anju's match. Oh, is he taking a page out of Anju's matchbook? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It was just inevitable. The problem with mixing flamers in here is, obviously they're super expensive, but if you go for the backline and try for harassing the ore mines, then they're just gonna waste all their salvos on ore trucks. And not only do they do no damage, but they also miss against moving targets, so they do like double negative damage. Okay, going for a power hunt here. I think... Oh, that was sweet micro from Gacius, who's managed to single out the rocket soldiers. And as a result, this army is completely toothless, and we can pan away from it, because that surely ain't gonna do a damn thing. Here we're gonna see the might of the flamers. Behold the might of the flamers. Yeah, rockets still manage to do the job, but that is a very expensive army. That is worth probably 2 MCVs. On the other side, we're seeing a counter push. There's already a harvester down. Yeah, I mean, that was an even trade, except this army is super expensive. Oh, that is nice, though. He's faking a pullout towards the eastern front. Whereas, in the meantime, the flamers are going westwards on a little adventure. He also managed to capture the oil derrick. Sweet. Yeah, and on the other side, no such luck. Power plant is, advanced power plant is online, so there's a radar dome somewhere in the vicinity. Yeah, there it is. Tesla coil as well, like it being protected by some little extra zappiness. Oh, this is a sweet position for the flamers to start blasting. Except, they're not. Yo. Despro. Do something! You're poking with a stick. Come on, do something. Very scary army now out for Gacius. Lots of mediums, lots of rocket density. Oh god, why is he going for the harvesters? He has flamers. That is a mostly flamer-centered composition. Refinery though, that's gonna be toast in a matter of seconds. Would be a smart move to keep the army away again. Just hide them in a corner. Oh, the V2s have appeared. Starting to emerge, but one more harvester is going biting the dust. So that's quite the rusty metal scrapyard that we've got here. Can the V2 turn the tide? Can it hold? Oh, that's gonna be a good shot. Very nice lead. Forces Gacius back. And the Yak is also going to come online in just a little bit. So yeah, 6 Harvesters still alive, that's okay. He has a tech advantage combined with an army disadvantage, or albeit a slight one. So that's completely fine, still a winnable and tenable position for Despro. The counter push has managed to find the vulnerable underbelly. There is going to be a little power shortage in just a second. Okay, the multi-prongs are starting to appear here. The flamers are still in the base. Ooh, if they manage to find the service depot, that's gonna spell troubles here. Gacius, ooh, the crushes! Insane crushes from those harvesters. Yikes! And he's also managing to clean up this army. What about this side of the map? The Raider though is staying alive. Oh, so much multi-prong happening here. So many attacks from all vectors. Ooh! That V2 was the absolute gold standard, and the Yak, just to add insult to injury, goes down in the end, but this army has been traded away at a bargain. That was a complete steal here. Oh my lord. That was a sick V2 shot followed up by a sick Yak strafing run. Absolutely 10 out of 10. But he's not out of the woodworks just yet, because there is yet another push from Gacius. He's now... Okay, these harvesters crucially staying alive. Q staying alive from Gloria Gaynor, I believe. First V2 shot misses. GG! Huh. Was that GG though? I mean, there was a little push onto his expansion. I feel Gacius was not out of this yet. This was far from over, if you ask me. At the end we had, let's check the earnings graph. He's been plummeting hard. Okay, so maybe the economical situation was worse than I'd realized. Maybe the loss of these harvesters here was just too much. But that was a sick game. Some throws, some comebacks, and Despro definitely not displaying his peak form here, because he has been letting his macros slip just a little. But the micro is still very good, especially that one V2 shot in combination with the Yak. Insane. Okay, as is always the case with RAGL, there's gonna be a game 2, so see you just there. Be right back.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And back we are in game number 2 between those two fine gentlemen. We've got Widow Smells Bad, what a name, up against Gacius as Ingelando, and again, Widow Smells Bad, Despro going for Ukraine. This map has yet another tile set. This is a kind of an arid, okay, kind of a humid desert. That's an interesting tile set, because if you look at the radar minimap, it's like, I don't know what that is, maybe a savanna tile set? Interesting. It's so cool to see players coming up with those tiles. It gives the game so much more visual, just visual fidelity, I feel. Makes it feel fresh, the color palette. This map is called Greta Pastures. Yeah, and if you look at the trees, this definitely looks like a savanna map. Cool. I really enjoy this. Again, a dog opener, so he has had some mixed results, to put it mildly. But this time he could have a good run with the dog, because Gacius is already throwing away the first rifle and firing from the fog of war. The dog giving tactical support orders, being like, I can spot the enemy over there. Just a little aside. Those people, like, RA takes place in the 60s, right? In the late 60s. So yeah, those soldiers must have had shit gear, because if a dog can outperform your tactical gear in terms of spotting power, then something's terribly wrong. And I'm not a military buff. What I have to reiterate that yet again, but I'm just coming from a point of logics, and that just doesn't compute. The dog can basically be better than a guy with binoculars, giving firing orders to the entire squad. It's basically the squad leader for all intents and purposes. Oh, going onto the Welderic. Little skirmish. Firing against an unarmed Welderic. And Gacius has parked all of his rifle infantry back home, so he probably had just had the feeling that this would be an unwinnable fight out in the open with the dog around. Ooh. That would have been a bad engagement to take. Gacius definitely trying to angle it, but not finding the angle yet. And as a result, he has to yield to the pressure. He also has invested a lot into early rockets, such as not to fall prey to an APC, which is a prudent move. We're gonna have the War Factory coming online for Gacius in just a hot second. And, for Despro in just a hot second. Still waiting. There it is. Again, the macro is slipping from Despro. He is already 15 seconds behind on the ore refinery timing. Huh. But it doesn't matter if he can just out-micro the opponent. He's always going for the enemy volteric first. Going for an aggressive position with the engineer and then moving back. He took the hospital. I mean, you can do that if you're leading in terms of pressure. If you've got map pressure, it's very unlikely that your opponent is going to be expending rifles somewhere else. Gacius just sitting back home. Also parking a ranger in his ore field just to oversee the mining operations. Reeks of colonialism. I'm sorry, you're cancelled. You are now officially cancelled, Gacius. That shit doesn't fly in 2022. Apple Pride. Ooh, he's going on an engineer hunt. The engineer barely escaping into an APC. APC you later, my friend. Yeah, so good position for Widow Smells Bad. It's kind of equalized the score in terms of the building timing. MCV again is a bit earlier for Gacius. It's gonna be significantly earlier actually. And if he goes for a heavy tank, yeah, he tends to go for an early heavy tank, somewhat of a pressure build, and that's gonna leave you really far behind if you don't manage to get anything significant off of it. If you don't manage to gain anything from it. This time Gacius went for a, I would say, greedier build because he went for a super early MCV and no secondary light vehicle. He's going super early mass infantry. Third barracks already being added. 3 barracks for Widow Smells Bad as well though, so both just maxing out. Yeah, that is almost a 1-minute lead on the MCV, and that is crucial. Ranger just trying to find some stragglers, nothing too scary. Oh wait, it is a double Ranger. Huh. Curious, but they're empty. That is super curious. Well, double Ranger turned into a single Ranger. Just with the press of one button. Oh, he's trying to exfiltrate his own engineer, is he? Despro's messing up macro. Yeah, that is definitely the case here. But his micro is really good as always. Never succeed to have 10k before 5 minutes. Try the Gatekeeper build. It's gonna result in you floating harder than you'd ever imagine in your wildest dreams. Okay, Gacius has his MCV and expansion already set up, whereas Despro is still struggling. This ain't gonna result in a kill, my friend. What is that? What is that weird status? What's that attack move onto the MCV? At least he knows about the position of the MCV, so there's that. Huh. Curious. A couple of medics being mixed in, I really like that. Just beefing up the front line a little. You would think that an army would be scary with more rockets mixed in. Or more rifles, you know, just anything aggressive. But no. It's the medics. Ooh, microing his rockets and immediate deployment of the MCV. The base push is on. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves a massive base push spearheaded by a couple mediums. Gacius feels he is in the lead. Oh, that was a bad pathing mistake from this heavy tank. Gets picked off as a result. This pillbox is allowed to shoot freely at all incoming infantry. Oh my goodness! If he were to just get this gunner out of the pillbox, he would be in Veterancy 5 by now. Yikes! Just a little positioning mistake here. He's gonna cost Despro a lot of early game assets. So it's already looking a bit bleak here. He has lost his front line. And can he really stall with flame towers for long enough? How does Defender's Advantage work? So, is someone is asking in chat. Basically, Defender's Advantage is you've got line of sight. That is the extent of this Defender's Advantage. Is it better to stay still and only have half your army fighting? No, not usually, but you don't want to run your rifles and or your infantry in head first. MCV takes a beating, but is soaking up enough damage for now. Oh, what's it doing? Repositioning, trying to find a deployment spot. Oh. Turret coming out as well. Mining operations are still uninterrupted. So there's at least a little silver lining here. Man, but he's gonna struggle to find even space to deploy Tesla Coil. That's a good call now. Yeah, both the mining operations are down for Despro. It's looking very bleak for him. There's also a secondary army marching onto the ore fields. Ooh, Despro, it's looking very bleak this time around. Little lag spike, and we're gonna check the economy. Yeah, Despro is completely broke. The assets are 10k over for Gacius. It is looking absolutely good for him. He's about to steamroll him here. This is certainly starting to look like a 1-1 draw. I mean, by starting... Oh, those crushes! Yet again, Gacius with the crushes. GG! That is a 1-1 equalizer I wouldn't have seen coming if I were to gamble any money on it. I would probably not have put my money on Gacius there, but he's managed to make it work. And kudos to him. Certainly a very fierce game too, being played and capitalizing on small mistakes. The MCV timing was super late for Despro, and he also didn't have his tech up just yet, which is basically, he's a bit like, you know, he's a bit in the style of the old school tech players, where if you give him a tech lead, he's gonna abuse the hell out of those tier 3 units. But it's fine, just go home, who cares, man. Yeah, that's some good sportsmanship. Yeah, definitely not a sore loser. That is very well played from both, and that is gonna maybe blow the scoreboard open a little bit, because I know that Cav is still in the upper ranks, the upper echelon of the standings right now, as is Despro and Bangshot. But Gacius definitely has a shot at one of the playoff spots. And as we're going to be moving towards the playoffs, this is going to start getting real spicy. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to casting some more Competent Heroes too, and finally some Shadow Paradise casts already. They've already been recorded. I just need to find the time to finalize the recordings, give them the final touch. All right. I've also increased the bitrate on those videos, so they should hopefully have a better resolution. Interestingly, the source videos do have great resolution and great frame rate and image quality, but apparently this was an issue in the previous casts after they had been processed by Sony Vegas. So yeah, maybe I'll have to start looking for a new video codec. Maybe that's the issue. Anyway, thank you for watching. Well played to both, and I'll see you next time. 5 aces, out. And I love the tile set. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Battle control terminated.